in the 16 topics for Unit 1 for the OCR revision is monetary methods of motivation. Or in other words, how do we actually motivate employees to get them to work harder for us? So, there's mainly, I would say from my career working for people, there's only two main things that motivate people. One's greed, people are greedy and they'll do more, and one's fear, well done. So if they're the biggest motivators, how can we use those inside a business? Well, the obvious one is through pay and non-pay methods because they work too. Now, on the screen here, you've got a typical pay slip. And a typical pay slip could turn up in your paper 1 exam. And that typical pay slip shows the amount of pay that a worker receives. And I've kept the numbers really simple and rounded them up. So from here we can see that the basic pay of a worker is how much a week?
£500.
£500, well done. And this week, because they worked really hard, they got a 20% bonus, which was an extra
£100.
Excellent. Which meant their gross pay for the week was a staggering
£600.
Well done. Now that's below the national average, because the national average, anybody?
400.
Is 27,500 a year. So slightly below the national average. In fact, no, it's above the national average. What am I talking about? So out of that gross pay, remember that could be a 2-mark question at the exam. Gross pay, what is gross pay? Pay before tax and national insurance. Out of that, roughly speaking, to keep the numbers easy, 10% goes on national insurance. National insurance traditionally goes to pay for what?
Roads?
No, that's road tax. So national insurance traditionally goes to pay for hospitals and all the other things from the National Health Service. Not anymore, but traditionally. Income tax is on top of that. And income tax is the tax the government takes off all our personal earnings, or PAYE in this case, and that's roughly 20%. Look at all that tax going to pay for schools, education, and all the other public sector services that we enjoy. If you're working in a school environment, you also get pension contributions, roughly speaking 10%, 10% of the total. So £60 per pound goes there, and your net take-home pay, net means after stoppages, your net pay, after all those deductions come out, that minus all that, is a whopping
£360.
Yay! So look, it's nearly gone down by half. So if you earn that, you get paid that. So this may appear on an exam paper, but more importantly, where will you find that information on a weekly wage packet? I've told you the answer.
Payslip.
Payslip. So that information, and they could print a payslip on the paper and say, ask a question about that. So that's a very nice visual way to remember payslip. But we're talking about pay in terms of motivating workers. So if we can increase the amount of money that goes in people's pockets, then that might be a great motivator for people to work harder. Especially if I said to you, I'll pay your pension contribution, which means you've got £420 to take home because I'm paying your pension contribution, not you. Or if I said to you, I'm going to put a bonus through every week if you work as hard as this week. So motivation through pay is quite massive. And these are the different methods of pay that a company could use. Have you heard of that one before? Time rate.
Isn't that how you get paid for the time you work?
Exactly right. And that's linked to an hourly rate. Hourly rates have currently gone from minimum wage to
Working wage.
no,
living wage.
Living wage, well done. And that living wage is designed to get people to earn more money per hour. So to get people out of the benefits. If we pay them more per hour, they're not claiming so many benefits. So people feel better if they're earning their money as opposed to claiming benefits because they can't earn enough. So time rate generally works on the basis that you would go to work, you would take out your card, you would clock in, bing, bing, and you go to work, you spend all day working hard, you walk out the door, at the end of the day, bing, bing, and you clock out. And that computer would log your time worked, and that time rate would then calculate your pay. So if you get a 2-mark question on time rate, that's it. If you get a question on what is overtime pay, What do you think overtime pay?
Overtime pay is where you work over the amount of time that you're meant to. And
Excellent.
get paid for it.
So if you're paid for a 40-hour week, then if you do 5 hours extra, they might say to you, Ryan, if you're going to work 5 hours extra at the weekend, I'll pay you double time. So your £7.50 becomes £15 an hour. Why would you work for £15 an hour, Ryan?
Because you're getting double what you get.
Because you're thinking, hang on a minute, I can go in for 5 hours on a Saturday, ka-ching, and walk out there with 75 quid extra in my pocket. So overtime pay is a great incentive for people that need money to actually do the overtime. Unfortunately, it's an extra cost to the business, but the extra cost to the business is offset against what? If you're working harder for the business, you're generating more what?
Profit.
Profit, revenue, money, yes. So the extra cost is offset by extra income. Another way to motivate people is salary. What's a salary?
It's like
How much a person gets paid?
How much person gets paid?
It's like either a month. It's a monthly
Excellent.
sort of contract where.
So if I said to you, Ryan, would you work for me for £52,000 a year? What would you say?
No.
No, because I'm worth more than that. But if Ryan worked for me for £52,000 a year, well, let's make the numbers easy. For being cheeky, I'm going to put him down to 48,000. And if he says no, I'll reduce it again. Ryan, would you work for me for £48,000 a year?
Yeah.
Good lad. So if I divide 48 by 12, what is Ryan earning a month in his salary? It's not a trick question if you're doing GCSE maths.
4,000.
Excellent, Ryan. Nothing wrong with your mental arithmetic. So Ryan's now on a salary of £4,000 a year, which is 48 grand a year, £4,000 a month, sorry, and that salary will be paid to Ryan every month. Thank you very much, says Ryan. I'm having the life now. I'm getting paid what I'm worth and doing very nicely. Thank you very much. Unfortunately for Ryan, if he does 60 hours one week and 90 hours the next week and 120 hours the week after,
He's still getting paid the same amount.
he's still getting paid the same amount, £4,000 a month. I would imagine he's working more hours because something's gone wrong and he's got to sort it out. Because Ryan, being the smart lad that he is, will want to get back to working 40 hours or less and spend more time with his wife and his kids having fun. So the advantage of a salary is they get paid the same amount of money every month, but if they work more, they don't get paid the extra. So from the company's point of view, salaries are great. And finally, on this slide, the piece rate. Anybody remember what piece rate is from last year?
Isn't it where they get money for each thing they do? So like they get a sort of like cut of the money for like something they do in the business.
Nearly there, spot on. Piece rate, you get paid for every piece of work you do. And that piece rate, if we're building a wall, for instance, and I was never particularly great at art, but it never stopped me trying, piece rate is how much you're going to get paid. So if I'm getting paid £1 for every 10 bricks I lay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I've earned £1 up to there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I've earned £1.50 that day. So piece rate is great for paying people for output, for production. If I was making jewellery or if I was making windows to go in conservatories, I might get paid by the piece of work I did. So that's the advantage of people being paid by piece rate. They work quick, they get good, they develop the skills and the process to do a quicker job. What's the disadvantage of piece rate?
It may not, the thing they're making may not be needed, so they don't need to make it.
I wasn't particularly thinking of that, but it's a good
Quality.
Well done. You might be rushing the job, so that wall might be all wonky and rubbish, and it might be a messy wall that needs tidying up, and the ground might be everywhere. So quality is the big disadvantage with piece rate, and the other thing is not just quality, but waste. You're not really going to keep working if there's no demand for it. You're only going to build a wall for somebody who wants a wall, but waste. You might waste loads of cement, you might break loads of bricks because you're cracking them too quickly to get the wall done, but quality is the main thing. That wall might be a rubbish wall to look at, and you might waste a lot of product. So piece rate has got advantages and disadvantages. The other three methods for motivation here are commission. Anybody remember what commission is?
It's like when they sell a product, they get some commission out of it, which is like a cut off the money. From
Excellent. When they sell a product, they get paid a big fat wage of cash. So the value of the sales gets a percentage commission. So if I said to you, go out there and sell me £1,000 worth of conservatories, and for every £1 million that you sell, you're on 10% commission. If you sell £1 million of conservatories, how much time are you going to spend in your car or at home watching TV?
A lot. Wait, what's that?
You're probably going to spend a lot of time knocking on the door saying, can I show you about the conservatory offer we've got going on at the moment? Because if you're on 10% of everything you sell, if you sell £1 million of conservatories, you're bringing out £100,000 a year, which is more than Ryan, because Ryan's only earning 48 grand a year. So Ryan is probably thinking, I'm going to come and work for your company. Yeah. So commission's great for salespeople, but the disadvantage of this is
they might not be selling, so you won't get the commission out.
They might not sell, so you might not get the commission.
And they might not sell what they're trying to sell, so if they don't sell $1 million, then you might not get any commission at all.
Exactly. So if they don't hit their target, they don't get commission at all. But they could also get very pushy and very argumentative and very, knocking on the door and saying, hello, let me in, pushing through the door, pushing in, boring people's pants off and annoying people. So pushing salespeople would just annoy companies and businesses and individuals and would take the reputation of the business the wrong way. Bonuses, do we like bonuses?
A bonus is where it's like, what is it?
Add-on from your salary.
What is it? Like, what's the word I'm looking for?
The word you're looking for is, we like bonuses.
When they reach a target, when they reach a target or something, they get a bonus sum of money for reaching that target. Excellent.
So if our target is £100,000 or 100,000 sales, once we hit that target, we get our bonus. It triggers an automatic bonus for you and your team. So everybody's working for the bonus. The only problem with targets,
you might not reach the target.
It might not be achievable. So if the target's completely there and we've got no chance of doing it, what's everybody going to think?
Then there's no point doing it. So
no point in putting the effort into achieving it because it's not achievable. So the bonuses are okay providing the target's set at the right level to achieve. What do we think of the last one, profit sharing?
I don't know what that is.
Good. Well, let's have a quick reminder. Profit sharing is where the firm makes a profit. And that profit is then divided into, in this case, profit share. So a third of the profit goes into a profit share, and that profit share is shared with who?
The employees.
All employees share a piece of that cake, and those employees can then enjoy sharing that profit. The other third normally is put on retained profit for a rainy day, and the other third is generally put on one side for growth, takeovers, or mergers. So you might use that money to buy more sites. That's a great business example, profit sharing of what company? What company does this very well? I'll give you a clue, I'll give you a W. It's got an A attached to it. And then it's got an I.
Waitrose.
Excellent, Waitrose. I thought we were going to play a quick game of Hangman and Hang You. Waitrose, part of the John Lewis partnership, do that exceptionally well. A third of Waitrose profits, John Lewis's profits, are shared with all the people every year. Profit sharing is beautiful.
Yeah, but if you don't make that much profit, then the employees aren't going to get that much out of it.
They don't, no. But every year Waitrose announce what the profit dividend is, and it could be a percentage generally between 10 and 22%. And they'll announce it throughout the whole company on the same day, and if it's 10%, which is the minimum that they ever do, because they always make a profit, that's 10% of your salary is paid to you as a bonus, and I believe it's tax-free because they pay the tax. And finally, fringe benefits. What do we know about fringe benefits? Do we like fringe benefits?
Yes.
Do we like fringes?
Maybe.
Maybe we do. Fringe benefits, or perks as they're known, 2-mark question, what's a fringe benefit? Is basically the firm giving workers non-monetary rewards. There's no cash involved, but there could be something better than cash,
A holiday or something.
like a holiday, like a
Oh.
car, like a contribution to the pension scheme, free lunch vouchers, or maybe even free Bupa medical cover, free healthcare. So fringe benefits are the things that work like on the edge of the core deal that just make it nice. And fringe benefits are very good at doing what? Motivating people to work hard to get those fringe benefits. They're also very good at attracting people to apply for your company. So if you're thinking of topics, fringe benefits are very good at attracting people to come and work for you. Because I don't know many schools that are providing a company car for their people. I don't know any schools that are providing pension schemes where you don't pay anything towards it. Most schools pay the same as you do, if not more than your contribution, but nobody pays all of it. I haven't been in a school yet, apart from on interview days that give you free lunches, and I haven't been in a school yet that provides free healthcare. But then maybe that's a state sector that doesn't provide those things. But the great thing about fringe benefits, and it's a very great thing, is that if you're giving somebody any of these, it's a lot cheaper than if you're giving people £100 a week extra. Because if you pay somebody £100 a week extra, and that's what's going to be in their pocket, you have to actually pay their tax and national insurance. So in effect, you're probably actually able to pay them £140 a week for them to get £100 a week. So it's cheaper to give people fringe benefits than it is to give them £100 cash in their pocket extra every week. So we've looked at most of those motivators, and we've looked at the advantages and disadvantages of each. So we've covered knowledge, we've covered analysis, and finally, the 9-mark questions that you might get asked are: how do you pick the right benefits to motivate people? And there's this little paragraph there that says you've got to pick a benefit or motivator that's appropriate to the worker. And that will depend on what the worker does and the type of business they work in. And I've just put a line in there saying commission is often used in sales workers and piecework is often used in production workers. They're bound to pick commission and they're bound to pick piecework because that's the thing people forget the most. So hopefully you're going to get those. Profit sharing, I would say, the John Lewis model, is the best way to reward people because everybody gets a percentage relation of their wage. So it's 10% of wage. But the only problem with profit sharing is that if a worker in the company is not performing, they'll still get 10% of their wage. So what do we do with the 10% of workers that are getting a bonus that aren't working?
Take it away.
We might take it away, but that's unfair. It's easy to get them working by setting them targets, doing appraisals, and giving them set targets that they have to achieve. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is our revision for topic 5 of Unit 1 of the OCR specification on monetary motivations. Happy with that?